started the company in 2016, one of the things we did was we went to recycling companies and we started trying to understand how these companies actually recycle end-of-life products. In this case, these were electronic products, but that would be applicable to any kind of really. What we saw is that these companies were recycling products based on little to no information. They were essentially guessing what products they were recycling and what was inside. So this led us to a trip to the supply chain to kind of understand how does the supply chain actually gather this data and why is that not shared at the end of life for recycling companies. And that basically started Circularise because that information is currently not shared due to a lack of data exchange infrastructure. That information is not being shared, and therefore at the end of life, recycling companies or similar companies cannot do a good job because they don't have that information available to them. And that's, in a nutshell, what digital product passports are aiming to solve. If you're working in the automotive industry and are tasked with making sure that the industry follows the sustainability path we're all in, as well as making sure that you're compliant with upcoming regulations such as battery passports, one of the concerns you might have is around data privacy and data confidentiality. How do you, first of all, gather that data from a supply chain in a trustworthy way, but also how do you make sure that none of that data is too sensitive or shared with anybody who should not have access to that information? So one of the things we've done very early on is invest in our core technology, which makes sure that we can validate the correctness of data without having to share anything that somebody might not be comfortable with. So this is at the core of our technology, and it allows companies to make sure that they can balance between transparency and keeping confidentiality in a supply chain.